First things first, we got our coffee. So the reason why I'm driving to Melbourne in the first place is because a few weeks ago when we were traveling down from Darwin to Adelaide, I decided, kind of spur of the moment, that I was going to go home to see my family and friends in Canada. At that point in time, we had plans to drive all the way to Melbourne, but as you may know by now, our plans just change all the time, and we decided to stay here in Adelaide. So Jordan and Zena will be here while I go visit my family, but I needed a way to get to Melbourne. So I found this car on a website called Transfer Car. This is a site where they basically just need to get cars from A to B. So for this car, I've paid $1 per day. They were trying to get me to pay $77 for insurance per day, but I thought that kind of defeated the purpose of the whole $1 per day, so I'm risking it. Now I have 3 days to get this car from here to Melbourne Airport. In my head, it sounded like a great idea, but on the weekend, I started looking at the weather and places to camp. Apparently, halfway to the airport, the temperatures tonight get down to -1 degree. The original car I rented was a lot bigger, and my idea was just to sleep in the back, but this has happened to me a few times on rental websites. You book a car and it says this car or similar, and the similar car they give you is usually a lot smaller than the one you thought you were going to book. So last minute, I went and I picked up a tent, and I brought our big blanket so that I will just pitch a tent somewhere tonight. We better get driving because we have a far way to go. It is really windy out and already getting dark and cold, so I'm going to try and set my tent up really quickly. I've never set it up before. This is the first time I'm going to be using it. I'm pretty nervous to go to sleep tonight. Here is my home for the night. It got dark real quick and the fire didn't last long because of how strong the wind is. It's died off a little bit now, so I'm hoping it stays that way. It's already going to be really cold tonight, so the last thing we need is some more wind. I have 2 sweaters on, 2 pairs of pants, and 2 pairs of socks. Hopefully I won't be too cold. I also brought an extra pair of socks in here in case I need to put them on my hands in the night. I don't have a sleeping pad either. That's one thing I'm really missing about not having the van with me right now. When we're on the road in the van, we have everything we need right at our fingertips. And right now I just feel like I'm not prepared for this. The doona I have is quite warm, so I've just put it on the ground and I'm gonna fold it over me like a burrito. I'm just gonna try to get to bed now before it gets too cold. I did have another coffee at about 4:30 p.m. because I ended up driving about 5.5 hours today. It actually was quite enjoyable. I felt like I went through a bunch of seasons in such a short amount of time, but I guess I will see you in the morning. Surprisingly, I didn't sleep as bad as I thought I would. I mean, it wasn't the best sleep I've had in my entire life. I probably woke up about 4 or 5 times, but I thought I would be a lot colder. This blanket is honestly so warm, and I think the reasons why I kept waking up was because I didn't have any sleeping pad, so I was a little bit uncomfortable, and the sound of the tent was making a flapping noise throughout most of the night because it was quite windy as well. Oh, it is so cold though. It's so funny, we just came from a heat wave in the north and now I'm in the middle of a cold snap here in the south. Let's go find some coffee, shall we? Oh, it's crazy how good you feel after an ice swim, but I think I need to start walking back to the car so that I can warm up a little bit. I headed back the way I came, and in the 45 minutes it took me to get back to the car, I experienced rain, sunshine, some more rain, and then it's hailing right now. What the heck? Victoria, you confuse me. What? I had to pull over to show you this whiteout. There's mountains all there, you just can't see them right now. And I got into the car and I see snow on the ground. This is so wild. I've never seen snow before in Australia. Left the snow and the Grampians behind and drove another 200 kilometers. It wasn't long before I drove into yet another storm. At this point I was contemplating booking an accommodation to have a roof over my head for the night, but instead decided to check out camp first. It was pouring rain when I got there, but I waited it out until the storm clouds passed. Victoria really gave us its typical 4 seasons in one day. I can't believe we actually saw snow today. I've never seen snow in Australia and I was definitely not expecting to see it before arriving in Canada. When I pulled into this spot, it was pouring rain and I was feeling so nervous because I wasn't sure if it was going to stick around, but it did that thing where it was a massive storm cloud and it just passed by and then completely cleared up and it turned into a really beautiful afternoon. On my weather app, it says it's going to be even colder than last night. It says it's going to feel like -3 degrees. So I am a little bit nervous, especially because of the snow today. But I was warm enough last night, so I think I should be okay. I left myself about 100 more kilometers to get to Melbourne, so I'll drop the car off at the airport in the morning. Wow, It is so peaceful right now.